I'm a big fan of his work and appreciate he's calling in. Critical Thinking opens in virtual cinemas, VOD, and digital today. The star and director of this film, his feature film directorial debut. Critical Thinking is the name of the film. John Leguizamo here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, John?
Hey, Rich, don't hurt yourself saying my name.
You know what? I should have been more hydrated for that, John, but
you do.
Normally I stick the landing a little better than that.
For that long-ass vowel name.
Hey, John, thanks for calling into the show, and congrats on this film. Before we get to that, I do want to talk a little bit of sports with you. Are you a Met fan? Is that a true story?
Yeah, you know that. I'm from Queens, Mets.
Okay.
It's so sad to lose Tom this week,
Yep.
Tom Seaver. Painful. I have some baseball cards from back in the day, 3 of them still left with me from in the shoebox underneath my bed and whatnot.
Jay?
Yeah, Mets fan, big time.
So does that make you a Jet fan too, John? Because they used to play in the same stadium, and we're of the similar age that those usually get connected.
I wanted to be Mets, Jets, and Nets,
right.
But I can't. I can't. I'm still a Knicks fan, regardless of Dolan and whatever he does. Well, I'm Jets. I'm Jets.
Right. Okay. So, what are your memories of Seaver, John? What are your memories of Tom Terrific, who passed away at 75 this week?
Wow. I mean, mostly baseball cards. I got to be honest. That was mostly my thing, was flipping those baseball cards with Tom Seaver, and everybody fighting for the Tom Seaver card.
Of course.
Remember, you used to have to flip him on the ground, and whoever's colors matched, you took the pile.
I totally remember that.
Remember that.
But I would never flip Seaver. I would usually say, "Here's Ed Kranepool." I wouldn't want. I'd usually do that. That would be, or Jerry Grody as catcher usually would be the one that I would flip, because Tom.
Well, you must have had a lot of bubblegum money, because I didn't have that much bubblegum money. I had whatever I had.
Bubblegum money. I love that. That's fantastic. So your film, Critical Thinking, opening today in virtual cinemas, VOD, and digital. Tell everyone about it and why you decided to take this up as your first directorial gig.
Well, it's a true story, an incredible true story of 5 Latin and black kids from one of the toughest neighborhoods in Miami called Overtown, Liberty City back in the day, who became champions of Miami, then regional champs all over the state, finally state champs, and eventually United States national chess champions. True story. This teacher, Mario Martinez, I went to Florida and met with him, fell in love with the guy. I mean, he was all in, unconditional about as much as he would do everything for these kids to get them to win a prize, because they were talented, gifted, intellectual. But their schools were defunded. There's no trickle-down economy. That doesn't exist. That's BS. Let's face it. And they didn't have supplies. They didn't have money for the class. And this teacher, with the kids, raised all the money himself and got them to be champions of the United States.
And a true story again from 1998.
Correct.
And it's just again, it's a beautiful story. I had not heard of it, to be very honest with you. I did not know about this. What did you learn?
No, I didn't either, bro. I got to be honest. I didn't know about it either. It came to me. It was offered to me to be the protagonist, to star as a teacher. Mm-hmm. And then they offered me to direct it because they saw my passion for the project. And obviously, it wasn't based on my chess skills, thank God, because I wouldn't have got it.
Right.
Because I'm an amateur dilettante, that's for sure.
Nice.
But, I had the real guys. They're about 40 now. And I had them on the set every day and at rehearsals. And I said, if it looks like we're faking it, like in some movies you see like people playing baseball and, the way they hit that bat, it doesn't look real. I didn't want that with the chess, because there is a certain swag and a certain...
Like what? Walk me through the chess swag, John. What's the chess swag? What do you have?
Well, you got to be able to throw it down with 3 fingers, and it's got to land. You got to fling it, and it can't topple over. It can't lean on the other guy, on the rook, or on a knight or a bishop. It's got to just land there, and then when you want to crush somebody, you grind it into the plastic board.
That's the swag that you're talking about. I did not know that either.
Oh, yeah, dude, it took hours because my boys were trying to do it, and the pieces would fly across the room. They'd miss the square. And I was like, my brothers, you're going to make me look bad. You're going to make yourselves look bad more than that. you better carry a piece with you all day long and just slam it 100 million times till you can do it without looking.
So again, it's funny how you say that. This is just like any, I guess, in a way, sports movie that you don't want to have anybody who's an aficionado of the sport say that doesn't look real. What is your favorite sports movie, John Leguizamo?
Hoosiers.
Attaboy. I love it.
It's just, I don't know, that movie gets to me.
That's it.
Every single time. It was Dennis Hopper's comeback. I don't know. It's just, it killed me.
We had the director of the movie, David Ansbach, on a couple of months ago, John, and he told me, I said, what was it like to get Gene Hackman? Did you have to twist his arm to do the movie? He said Hackman, on the set, thought the movie was going to be a total flop.
Oh, no.
I know. And that the scene, if you remember the montage where things are beginning to cook well for Hickory and that Dennis Hopper's on the bench with Hackman and they're laughing, David Ansbach said that the scene, that he kept that in the movie, not knowing that the reason why Hopper was laughing was Hackman said to him as they were rolling that after this movie comes out that they're going to have no careers left. I don't mean to ruin it, but
I love cynical stars like that, man. I love that.
That's what he said.
You got to talk trash about your work. You can't take yourself so damn seriously. You know what I mean?
Sure. So, what do you get the most, John, when you're walking around from?
Well, it depends. You know, I could tell about a lot about you by the movies you pick. Like my LGBTQ community always says Tu Wong Fu, Chichi Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
My hoodies always say, Carlito's Way and Empire. Italian people don't get mad at me for Carlito's Way. They're like, hey, why'd you have to kill Pacino? He was going to get away. And I'm like, hey, it's not a documentary. It's a made-up movie.
Okay.
He's still alive. You can see him anywhere. And all the cinephiles always go Summer of Sam, Spike Lee's flick.
That was something else. What about House of Buggin', John? What does that say about me if I say that?
I guess of love. It's always like people in their late 20s, early 30s who remember it, barely. But they go, "Oh man, I wish I still had that VHS."
I love it. Hey, John, I appreciate the call. Congrats on Critical Thinking.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me on, man.
It's
a big hug.
It's a beautiful movie. Everybody should check it out. Virtual cinemas, VOD, and digital. Critical Thinking. John Leguizamo, the star.
Yeah, stay healthy and safe for me.
Right back at you. The star and director of that. That's John right here on the show. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.